Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It's time for our weekly recap of Sistas. This is season 2, episode 22, the season finale, and it was titled In the Shadows. Alright, y'all, before I jump into this recap review, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell while you're at it. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button along with the share button. Alright, y'all, I know I'm late, and I'm surprised nobody, especially KT, hit me in the messages saying where is the review. I was going to do it on Saturday because Thursday and Friday was just crazy because I got a lot going on, but y'all see those videos coming up soon. But yeah, and then Saturday came and then Saturday went, and here I am on Monday doing this thing on review. But yeah, it's been crazy, y'all. But in the next month, I'm telling y'all, I'm going to catch up and I'm going to be on schedule. But this March was crazy, and then April, I'm trying to finish up stuff for school and everything like that. So I have been like immersed in that, and in the house, like it's going a lot is going on. And as you see, my background is a little janky right now because I'm trying to move out of this closet into a bigger space. So that's going on. So please forgive me, but here I am with this review. All right, let's jump right into it, okay? Because it picked up where it left off at last episode 21, where Zach, Fatima, Danny, Andy, Karen, Bree was all in the grocery store, and they just found out that Fatima is sleeping with Karen's ex or whatever like that. So we all in the same spot. Danny is the MVP of this episode, okay? Because she had me cracking up the whole damn episode. So Danny like, damn, ooh. She's trying not to laugh. Bree like, this ain't funny. She was like, this night just got a whole lot better or whatever like that. Karen is like, well, what's going on? What's going on or whatever like that. And Fatima like, yeah, it seemed like it's just a big coincidence or whatever. And so Karen like, y'all dating? And so they all looking like, is y'all dating? So then Fatima turned to Zach, because Zach kept going in and out. Like he kept going back to wherever he got that guava nectar from, and then coming back over. So then she was just like, are we dating? I don't even think we dating. I don't even think you could call it dating or whatever. So Danny was like, oh, okay, so sometimes y'all just fucking. And so then Zach, he walk away again because he like, look, we not doing this in the grocery store. Like, we are in the grocery store. Like, we're not doing this in this grocery store right here. So then it's real awkward. It's like real quiet, like, and then Danny like, well, okay, so what's going on or whatever. So I think Fatima was like, well, he talked about you just being an ex. He never said nobody's name or nothing like that. And so Danny like, oh, so he just called you an ex. Well, is y'all really exes? Because y'all was just in there doing stuff. So then Andy like, Danny, be quiet. Go down the aisle. I buy you some snacks and stuff like that. She was like, no, I want that popcorn, because that's the aisle that Zach was in. So Fatima like, look, this is real awkward or whatever like that. She like, well, look, he mentioned the ex, but he ain't say no name. So then Karen was like, oh, well, what did he say about the ex? So then Zach popped up and he was like, look, we not doing this grocery store. I'm ready to go. Like, I'm ready to hit on up out of here. Like, no, we not doing this. Let's go, whatever. You don't owe them nothing. Like, you don't need to tell them nothing or whatever like that. And so Fatima was like, all right, Karen, well, I'll hit you up later or whatever. We could just talk about this later. And Danny like, y'all ain't gonna be talking about it later. Y'all need to talk about it now. So Danny, she asked like the real important question. She was like, to Fatima, she was like, well, did you know he had just had sex with her at the salon tonight or whatever? Did you know that? So everybody looking like, oh my God, Danny, shut up. I'm like, don't tell her to shut up. She asking important questions or whatever. So Fatima like, no, I didn't know. So then Danny was like, Zach, get over here and talk to her, whatever like that. And so Fatima like, well, what time did y'all have sex or whatever? Karen like, well, that ain't none of your business. And I'm like, Karen, really? You should have told her so she could know or whatever. So I was kind of disappointed in Karen, but I've been disappointed in Karen for the last 2 episodes. So whatever. So Danny like, oh, so now y'all gonna pretend like you gonna cover up for him because he your ex or whatever like that. Don't do that. Now you gonna act like y'all was exes because in the car, what you was just saying, and they like, Danny, shut up. So Fatima like, what was it, Zach, or whatever. Zach is like, look, do y'all not realize we's in the grocery store? Like, we standing next to the pasta and the sauce. So, like, I don't want to have this conversation in front of the grocery store or whatever like that. And so Danny was like, well, you should have thought about that when you was knee deep in Karen. And Karen like, no, not right now. It's children all around or whatever like that. What about the children? And Danny like, F them children. Like, y'all need to be truthful or whatever. So Zach like, look, let's just go. I don't want to have this conversation. You don't owe them nothing. Fatima like, well, look, I owe them something because I didn't know nothing about this. I'm just becoming friends with them. He like, well, why would you do that? Like, who told you to do that or whatever? So he like, look, just go. Can we go or whatever? So Fatima turned to Karen and was apologizing or whatever like that. And so then she leaves with Zach. So then Karen turns to Andy and was like, look, I'm going to ask you one time and one time only. Did you know about what was going on? Andy starts stuttering. I ain't know. She ain't saying that. She had mentioned that she was saying somebody, but look, you know she a nice person. And she ain't never, I ain't know. I didn't know. Like, I was like, oh my God. So Andy Karen goes storming off. Bree like, yeah, we gonna all need our own bottle of wine. Let me go get some more wine or whatever like that. So then in the car, we see Fatima and Zach. So they going back, they wasn't really going back and forth. Zach like, well, you want to talk about it now? And Fatima like, oh, now you want to talk about it, whatever like that. And so she like, well, you could have told me, like, you having sex with her, like, we not in a relationship or nothing like that. He was like, yeah, we ain't in a relationship. So then Fatima looking at him like, oh, so you that type of dude. So you want to just reiterate that we not in a relationship. Oh, okay, I see where you going with that. And so he was like, well, how was I supposed to know we was going to run into the market and we was going to have that conversation in the market or whatever like that? She was like, no, you should have just told me, period, that's what happened or whatever, versus me finding out or whatever. So he like, what did he say? He said something like, if I knew or something like that. So then she was just like, well, look, this arrangement is not going to work out. Because remember, she had invited him to move in with her or whatever. So now she like, look, it's not going to work out. Because if you can't even tell me what's going on, we not dating. Like, how you going to tell me something that's going on when we are dating or whatever? And so she was like, well, I'm glad this happened right now. Because if this happened later on in the relationship. And he like, well, what you mean if it happened later on in a relationship or whatever? And she like, look, just know. He was like, well, what you saying? Like, you crazy or something? She was like, well, you saw how I was holding that knife. And he was like, yeah, I did see how you was holding that knife or whatever like that. So then he mad and was like, well, I see how you are. And she like, well, look, you got your own money, so you can go get your own place or whatever. So then I thought she had took the $25K and gave it back to the dudes or whatever. Well, he took $2,000 out. But I thought she gave her like, what, $23,000? I thought she gave that to the people to invest back. So I hope she gave him back his wad of money or whatever. But at any rate, they going back and forth. And he like, I see who you are. You don't know what you want. But even though you don't know what you want it right now and this and that and all the other stuff. It's either now. What do they say? It's either all or nothing or something like that. And so she was like, well... I don't know if she said something. He was like, well, what are you offering or something like that? And what you offering her? And he was like, no, I don't even want to be with her or whatever like that. She was like, you was literally just in her. But you talking about you don't want to be with her. Yeah, we not doing this. So you just need to take your money, find your own place, and bounce. So he was like, well, for clarity, I just want to kind of see if like you mean like I can't come back over or visit and stuff. She just turned the radio. She turned the radio on him. I was cracking up because I'm like, is you really trying to get clarity if you can come over and bone? Like, sir, your priorities is all jacked up. But we had this little scene with Maurice and Calvin. Maurice caught Calvin checking out Bree's social media, whatever like that. So he like, why are you checking out her social media? Like, what you need to do is be bold and do something daring and stuff like that. Like, grab her hair, choke her, bang her head up against the wall and be like, take this from daddy. I was like, what? He was having like a whole moment. I was like, is Maurice okay? But So anyway, he basically convinced Calvin to go over there and see Bree that night or whatever. So we already know what was fitting to happen. In the car, you see how I just, because the Calvin and Maurice scenes, I mean, I like Maurice, but child, I'm over Calvin. Over the storyline. But anyway, in the car with the girls, so they all smushed up in Andy's car or whatever like that. And so Danny like, well, we all gonna act like we ain't gonna talk about what just happened or whatever. And so they like, Danny, be quiet. So she like, well, I'm just saying Zach's stupid as hell. Like, he's stupid as shit. Like, what is he doing? They getting all mad at Danny because she's speaking the truth or whatever. And so Bree like, well, so you ain't really know, like, Andy, like, you ain't know. So Andy like, look, I'm telling you, I did not know any of this. And she was like, okay, really, bitch? Like, she asking her like, you say so, but she ain't really, believing or whatever like that. So then it was kind of like Danny was just like, well, not Danny, Aunt Karen was mad because she, like, Zach was just talking about her as like a nameless ex or whatever like that. So she was like, after all this we had going on or whatever like that, and all I am is a nameless ex. Like, he couldn't even mention my name when he was talking about me to her or whatever like that. Like, how would you feel and stuff? And so Danny like, well, that's what I'm saying. He's stupid as shit because like he all talking about her, like he really liked her. Oh, she built me up, she make me feel like a man, she do yada 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 and stuff, and then he knee deep in you in your closet or whatever. So Karen was like, it's my office. She was like, girl, it's your closet, okay? It's next to the shampoo and the perm. You lucky he didn't take it for lube, because like a perm coochie. And died. I had to pause the show because I cracked up when she was like, girl, you lucky he ain't take it for lube, because like a perm coochie. I don't know why that cracked me up so bad, but that shit, that thing was funny to me. So at any rate, they was like, look, we could just drop you off, Danny. There go your house right there. We could just drop you off or whatever. So she was like, look, well, go ahead, drop me off and stuff like that. So then everybody wanted to be dropped off. So Karen wanted to be dropped off at her place. Bree wanted to be dropped off at her place. So basically, Andy was playing Uber or whatever like that. And so Karen was just like, well, Andy was like, well, they got history and stuff like that. So him, bouncing around and stuff like that, and him not even mentioning her and stuff, that's a problem. And so Danny, she was like, that's what I'm saying. Because, they got history together. And he just bouncing from coochie to coochie to coochie. Andy was like, there go your place right there. Just go on tuck and roll. I was cracking up. I said, Danny is a fool. So anyway, Danny get home, Preston on the couch, and she all like, she ready to jump on Rodeo and stuff like that. So Rodeo, he trying to tell her like, I got something to tell you and stuff. And she like, what? And then here comes Zach coming around the corner. So she like, Zach, what is you doing here? What are you doing here? Or whatever. And so they going back and forth. She ends up hitting him with a belt. Preston looking like, what the hell? Preston be cracking me up too. And so Zach was like, well, Preston said I could stay. Preston. And then he fed me. What? You fed him? I don't. I gave my food. Yours is still over there. Yours is still over there, whatever. So she like, Zach, you got to go. He like, I'm not going nowhere. She was like, look, you got to go because you banging all these chicks. You just banging people all over the stuff, and I'm trying to get banged. So you got to go. Like, you got to go. Preston looking like, So then he like, well, baby, where he supposed to go? Danny like, Preston, we don't care about that. We don't care about Zach and where he needs to go. Okay, we don't care about any of that. So he like, well, I like him. He your friend. So, well, if you like him, you go ahead and be with him and stuff. He was like, well, I don't like him that much. I was cracking up. So anyway, Zach ends up leaving and stuff like that or whatever. And so Danny like, look, don't invite him back in here. He was like, well, that's your friend. You know, I'm just trying to be friends with him because that's your friend and stuff like that. And I like Zach and stuff. She was like, well, look, don't invite him back in here or whatever. So she was like, look, you fine and cute and everything, but you got a lot to learn. So then Preston was like, well, you know, I'm trying to help you. So she looking like, what? You trying to help me? So, you know, Danny get on her bag and stuff like that. So then he like, well, I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what I said wrong, going for like that. She was like, all right, whatever. So she gets up, she goes to the bathroom. We see Bree, she at home, she got her little glass of wine, she look at her phone. Calvin, of course, ain't messing her or nothing like that. So she ends up calling Jacoby. Jacoby with his thirsty ass, he all like, well, I'll be over there in 15 minutes. Bitch, I didn't even say where I was sitting down and relaxing at. I just said I'm sitting here, and he like, oh, okay, I'll be over. Like, I could have been sitting in the park. I could have been sitting at the bar. I could have been sitting at the office. Like, what? So he all thirsty. He said he gonna be over there in 15 minutes. So then Brie like, oh, okay, whatever. So then she hang up the phone. I think she called, no, Danny ended up calling her. So she gets on the phone and Danny calling her and Brie like, well, Jacoby on the way. Danny like, good, you finally getting a booty call. She was like, well, I don't think it's a booty call. You know, I just wanted somebody to talk to. She was like, okay, but it's booty call hours. You getting a booty call, girl. So she like, well, why you sound all weird? Like, is you in the bathroom? She was like, yeah, I'm in the bathroom or whatever. She was like, well, just call me when you're done. She was like, no, it's not about that. I got into it with Preston. And so she tells her, you know, what happened. And she says that he wanted to save her or fix her and stuff. And she like, well, I don't think that's what he meant. But maybe you just need to talk to him or whatever like that. So Danny, she apprehensive. She don't really want to talk to Preston about it or whatever like that. So then Brie like, well, what she say? She was like, Brie was like, well, see, you don't want to be wrong. You always want to be right or whatever like that. And people try to help you. And I'm trying to help you right now. And you not listening right now. So Danny like, look here, girl. Just go wax your coochie. Like, I don't want to talk to you. Get ready for your booty call and stuff. So she was like, all right, you know what? I'm getting off the phone. She was like, yeah, but make sure you wax your coochie. She was like, look, it's not that type of call. She was like, look, I can hear the kitty meowing. Like, go on and get it cleaned up and stuff. I was cracking up. I was like, Danny is a whole fool. Then we see Andy, she calling Karen, making sure Karen okay and stuff, and basically Karen like in her feelings because Aaron had walked in on her and saw her getting banged out by damn Zach, so she don't got Aaron no more. Then Zach ended up being with Fatima, living with Fatima and stuff like that, and she's still over, you know, she not over Zach or whatever. So she's still in her feelings. So she looking all sad and pathetic, talking about son. Well, I'm thinking about calling Aaron and stuff. And she like, well, you don't really want to call him. And she was like, no, I don't really want to call him. But Zach, he got somebody, so I can't call him or whatever. And so she was like, well, let's see. But then while she talking, Andy house phone rings or whatever, and it's the door people saying that Gary coming up. So she was like, well, that's weird, he got a key. So then she tells Karen that Gary on the way. Karen don't even say nothing about Gary. So she was like, you ain't gonna say nothing? She was like, no, I ain't really got nothing to say, I'm gonna just let you do you or whatever. She was like, oh, okay, well, you know, do you, thank you for letting me do me or whatever like that, but what you want to do? Like, if you want to call Zach up, go ahead and call him up. Like, you gotta make up your mind on the whole Aaron or Zach thing. Like, you got to get that together or whatever. So she was like, all right, well, you know, I'll figure it out and I'll let you know. She was like, all right, well, let me know, okay? So then Gary, he comes to the door. She let him in or whatever like that. And she was like, well, what happened? Because you usually got your key and stuff. He was like, yeah, you know, I lost all my keys and stuff. Maybe the housekeeper misplaced them. And I said, as soon as he said that, I said, ain't no damn housekeeper misplaced his keys, his car keys, his house keys, child by. I said, that crazy ass Jasmine got them keys. So she invite him in and stuff, and he said he feels weird and whatever. And what happened? So I think she told him about telling the girls and stuff, and he was like, well, what did they say? What they had to, you know, she was like, well, you know, they my girls, they protect me, they want to protect me and stuff like that. So then she ends up inviting him to live with her, and he was like, what, you sure? Like, what your homies gonna say? They gonna say something? So she was like, well, it don't matter or whatever. And so then somehow he was like, well, can you do me a favor and not tell your girlfriends all of the business or whatever? So she was like, well, I'm learning it the hard way or whatever like that. So he go over there and he goes kissing her and stuff, and they about to bow chicky wow wow child. So then they go into the bedroom, setting it up and stuff. She had to close the door. I said, what's she closing the door for? I mean, shit, we already saw Zach and Karen. We saw Danny and Preston. We saw Bree and Jacoby. Like, why we can't see Andy and Gary? Like, anyway. So they close the door and stuff like that. Jacoby at the door, child. He gets nipples all hard. He like, ding, they all at attention and stuff, ready to get in. She playing hard to get. Why you over here? Why'd you come over here? He like, well, I came over here for. Come on, Bree, So then they end up getting into the kitchen and stuff. So then they do this whole weird back and forth, like they teenagers and stuff like that, and they don't really want to get down, but like, just do it. But she like, well, you want some wine? He like, sure. So he started drinking out her glass. I said, not drinking out her glass, but whatever. So he drinking her wine, and then she acting all hard to get and stuff again. And he like, well, I know what we want to do. You want to do this. This ain't the 1950s. If you want to get down, let's get down or whatever. So she like, well, I know it ain't the 1950s and stuff. And so then he ends up saying, well, you know what? I really didn't come empty handed. I got a little something, something. So he pull out this baggie of weed or whatever. So she like, we get tested at work. And he like, well, you the one who do the testing, girl. You the one who do the testing. Just, not test. So she like, I don't think so, Jacoby. So then he like, all right, well, you really want to kiss me and stuff. So then he reach over the little, what's the damn thing called? Island. So then he kissed her and stuff, and so she getting all turned on or whatever. And so then they end up like making out or whatever, and she like, well, oh my god, how big is that thing? So then he put her hand down. She like, oh shit. So like her eyes was like that. So then she was like, all right, well, we can lay in the bed together, but ain't nothing gonna happen. I said, girl, bye. And then so then he started kissing on her neck and all this other stuff. So she was like, all right, well, you can lay on top of me, but said, Bree, if you don't shut up. So then they making out and stuff like that because they fit the bow chicky wow wow. Okay. So then we back with Danny and Preston. So Danny come out the bathroom. She got her little, nighty or chill clothes on and stuff. Preston come in because he was taking out the trash or whatever. And they both apologize to each other, and she said she get real sensitive over certain topics and stuff. And so she was just saying like this relationship different for her, and she doesn't want anyone fixing her, helping her, saving her, or anything like that. And so he was like, well, I don't really want to help you. I just, I see like a few things that you could kind of work on or stuff like that. She was like, a few things, maybe like one, two, just a couple things, but I'm working on that for me or whatever. So she was like, I just need your help with like the rent, the gas, the cable, like the utilities. So, and the rent or whatever. So he was like, Danny, don't even worry about that. I paid your rent for the next 3 months or whatever. She was like, next 3 months? Nigga, unbuckle your pants. So she tried to unbuckle his pants and stuff. He was like, well, what are you doing? She was like, I'm going to, slide on the knob, So he was like, well, no, you ain't got to, unless you for real. She was like, well, no, I was playing. He was like, oh, okay. I should have paid it for the year, huh? I say, Preston is a goddamn mess. So they start talking, and she ends up saying like she do have some things she want to work on, but she want to do it for her. She don't want his help and stuff. And so then he says he got a couple things he wants to work on, but he wants her to help him out. And so then she was like, okay. He was like, well, I want to tell you something. And she was like, oh my god, if you tell me your sister outside in the hallway, I swear. He was like, no. It ain't my sister. It's my mama. I said Preston. So he was like, no, for real, I was joking. I'm joking. But for real, my mama want to meet you. My sister told her about you. She was like, oh, Lord, I smell burnt toast. I'm having a stroke. I'm stroking out. He was like, no, it's going to be okay. You going to meet my mama. Okay, let's just go in this kitchen and get something to eat or whatever like that. So then they go into the kitchen and stuff like that. So Jacoby and Bree, they bow chicky wow wow and stuff like that, child. I don't know if he took a little pill or something like that, but Bree ain't all that, she ain't got the wop, and she like, you ain't hitting no spots, and it's getting dry down there, okay? So she like, we've been at this for a long time, okay? And you still ain't hitting no spots, dude. Like, what is popping? Like, what's going on? Maybe he would have a little Henny or something like that, because the little Henny go hard. Or he maybe had a little tequila, because tequila go, woo, they get you wild and stuff like that. But he ain't, they going for a long ass time. Bang, 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 knock on the door. She want to answer the door. So you know it wasn't good if she want to get off of it, okay, and go answer the door. Girl, the person at the door just be knocking, okay? Especially if it's some good. Okay, child, what? Anyway, so she go answer the door and stuff like that. He rock hard still. And she like, did you take something? Like, what's going on? He was like, well, I'm just ready to, you know. And so then he go in the fridge with his old ding-a-lang just flopping in the refrigerator and stuff like that. I said, oh, that's nasty. But, and then it was... I hope she ain't had nothing on the hand on the door or something like, because especially if he that big and stuff, it hitting stuff on the ketchup, the mustard and stuff, like, she need to wipe that down. But anyway, she gonna answer the door, child. It's Calvin. So her shirt all disheveled and stuff like that, but she still had her bra on and stuff, so you know it wasn't that. Okay. But anyway, she goes to the door. It's Calvin. He like, well, you know, I ain't want to call you or text you because I ain't know what to say and stuff. And, you know, do. Well, and she like, well, you know, I don't know. It's not a good time. And I'm looking like, Calvin, you don't see like she look a mess right now. You steady talking. So then, of course, Jacoby like, Bree, you okay back there? So he like pushing the door open. He like, oh, the dude from the bank. And then he get all of his feelings, his heart broken and stuff like that for the 15,000th time. And then he go leave. I said, Lord have mercy. Hopefully this the last time. Okay. But anyway, we back at Andy place. She's sleeping, child. She like, cause she hear a little noise. So she like, baby, is that you? Is that you? No, it ain't even, what's the man named Gary? It's that whole Jasmine. She like, no, bitch, it's me. And I'm tired of your shit. So she hiding this gun behind her back. Like, we don't know it's a gun. So she like, I'm tired of your shit. I'm tired of your shit. So they arguing back and forth. But she like, you don't really want to do the, why is you in here? Like, get out, get out, get out. So she tells her to get out and stuff like that. So then Gary, because, I mean, the bathroom ain't even that far. He ain't hear her come when she first walked in, but whatever, child. Maybe he was pooping or something like that. I don't know. But he come in, he like, Jasmine, what you doing in here? Why are you in here? Why are you in here? Like, why are you here? She was like, what, nigga, what? So he like, what? You need to get out of here. You need to get out of here. You don't really want to do this. Oh, I don't want to do this. Pow, pow, pow. So 3 gunshots. Andy screaming. He like, so he finally fall. Andy, she begging for her life. Jasmine still pointing the gun at her, pointing the gun and not saying nothing. She's like, no, you don't really want to do this, please, Jasmine. No, you don't want to do this, girl. You don't want to do this. And that's how I ended, child. I said, Lord, if Jasmine was going to shoot Andy, she'd have already popped her. Because I'd have popped her and kept it moving. But, at any rate, y'all, that's how the episode ended. Season 3 going to be back on June 9th. So I will be here. Will I be here? Hopefully I will be here because I think we're supposed to be going on a vacation June 7th to the 14th. So it's going to be well, I don't know because they haven't figured it out yet. But I think we're going to be, you know, local or whatever like that. So I will be able to watch it and do a review on it. So I will be giving y'all the review on June 9th. And usually they give us like a 2-hour sometimes. Did they give us a 2-hour this year? I can't even remember, child. It seems so long ago. But anyway, if they give us a 2-hour, 1 hour, whatever, I'm going to record it for y'all on June 9th or June 10th. Y'all see it posted up. But I will be on track by June because all the school stuff will be done and I will be back on track, y'all. Again, my apologies. My apologies. Just stick with me, okay? I'm telling y'all, I am going to be on track. Anyway, y'all, if y'all enjoyed this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all. Until next time, peace.